Hey folks, Deano here again. This time, unfortunately, taking a look at a bootleg Gunpla. Oh, this is the second time I've tried to do this review. Everything went wrong the first time, including my camera falling, so yeah, this thing is literally going to be the end of me. This is supposed to be the Gundam Deathscythe Hell Custom from Gundam Wing Endless Waltz, the Gundam Wing movie, or I think it was also an OVA, I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, this abomination was the same price as the Wing Gundam bootleg that I reviewed. Just before we go any further, do not waste your money on this. I beg of you. Buy something else. Buy the Wing Gundam. Buy anything else. Just do not buy this thing. Like, honestly. To make things even better, it came shipped in bubble wrap. There was no box, even though there was no option from the seller to send with or without one. So yeah, yay me. It's an absolute miracle or curse. I would probably be more appropriate that this thing did not shatter into a million pieces in transit. So yeah, but yeah, the whole reason I got this thing was I mistakenly believed that all the bootlegs would be the same quality as the Wing Gundam. A bootleg from King Dong. I say that again. I'm going to continue to say that name because it's so funny to me. But yeah, not all bootlegs are created equal. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, while the Wing Gundam is like the poster child, the main character, if you will, of the Gundam Wing series and movie, as a kid, I just loved the Deathscythe. It's probably still my favourite like design in the show. It probably goes the original Deathscythe, Heavy Arms, Wing Gundam, and then Shenlong and Sandrock are somewhere like far down in the basement where you don't want to know about them, sort of thing. But yeah, it was my favourite Gundam, so I needed a version of this for my shelf. Not that this one's going on my shelf, but yeah. Let's take a look at, I suppose, the instruction manual, since we don't have a box. So, yay. So yeah, in terms of the manual, we get what is very poorly printed on the front, clearly what this kit is based off of. I believe this kit was based off a very old, by old we're talking like 15 years plus probably, no grade kit is what they're called, or they used to be called anyway. Now they're called entry grade, I believe. But basically, no grade is for kids, for lack of a better term. This one would be for kids, because if it wasn't for the poorly moulded sprue and the insane amount of force I had to put onto some of these parts just to click them together, it would probably be quite easy for a kid to build. So yeah, but alas, that is not the case. This isn't even the model kit I ordered. I ordered a newer version of this kit, which admittedly is basically the same exact kit, just with slightly different coloured parts, which we'll get to when I deal with the accessories. But yeah, this is how it's meant to look, which admittedly looks really good on this picture, even though it's really blurry and horrible. But this is the Daizanshin. Apologies if I butchered that name. Number 6602, Sparkling Soldier New Package. Number 4. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure which company actually produced this bootleg. I don't even know if that is the correct name. There's no way I'm putting it in the description anyway. even if it is. Like, I don't even know what that says, but but yeah, the instructions are pretty decent, admittedly. There are pidgin English parts, and for whatever reason, half of the sticker sheet, it just doesn't tell you where they go. So I kind of had to make it up as I went along. And the stickers that did go on went on poorly. So yeah, there is that. But other than that, pretty decent. You've got some pictures, clearly not of the same kit, because all of a sudden we have lots of detail and lots of added stickers and really a lot better joints and such. So yeah, I get the feeling these pictures are of the master grade, which kind of wish I had right now. But yeah, and on the back we have a picture of Duo Maxwell himself and two pictures of the Wing Zero EW. They do a bootleg of the Wing Zero EW, so if you want to see that, make sure you put it in the comments, because if you don't, I'm not reviewing it. I'm not going through this quote-unquote hell again. But yeah, there's two different variations of it. One looks decent, the other one looks as if he's peed his wings, but not entirely sure why. And then we have two versions of the Deathscythe, both of which are not this kit, clearly. Not even sure they exist. For some reason, the blurb up the top is a Wing Zero, but I'm not sure why. And this is the box art, which we'd be looking at right now if they would have actually included it. So yeah, let's just get on with the accessories, shall we? So yeah, admittedly, the accessories aren't terrible, although the quality of them is, like, to be honest. You do get a cheap little stand, it just slots together. It works decently enough, I suppose. It fits into the slot on his backside. But yeah, at least it included one, even if it is poorly moulded. But yeah. He also comes with 3 pairs of hands, which admittedly is better than the Wing Gundam bootleg, but that's about the only thing it's better at. You get a pair of fists on him in the package, a pair of sort of relaxed hands, which I haven't done anything to the hands, so you can see all the lovely sprue and excess flashing that's been left on it. Really nice, I do like that. And he also comes with a pair of grippy hands, which all of these hands, for whatever reason, were on the, I believe they call them polycaps. Usually they're used for the joints on the high grade kits and below. So yeah, I'm not sure why. They're all moulded in one part. At least they remembered to leave the hole, even though you can see the flashing in there. But yeah, I'm also like pretty sure these hands aren't what's meant to come with this kit, because as they're moulded in one part, I had to, spoilers, chop the bottom details off of the scythe just to get the hands in there. Otherwise they were not fitting, like, at all. Even if I do it right now, it's a bit of a chore. You pop that in, and then you come to this sort of corner bit. You have to put some force into it, and then it sits really, well, reasonably tight. Once you get to that top bit, it's a bit wobbly, but yeah, they're not angled or anything like that, so you can't get them into any dynamic poses, unfortunately. But yeah, talking of the, well, speaking of the scythe, it's a decent. I'm kind of glad I got the older kit as opposed to the newer one that I'd ordered, because the older kit, basically the only difference between these two kits is either the beam for the beam scythe and his V-fin over there. They either come in translucent green. I know this is looking a bit a translucent blue on camera, but it is more of like a greenish blue. So either both of those come in green, or both of them come in translucent gold. I am not sure why both are on the same sprue. In fact, that's probably what these yellow stickers are for, aren't they? I put it on the side just to give it a bit of colour, but I could not work out where they went at all. Probably for the V-fin. So yeah, pretty basic. The beam does not come out. It's pegged in there. So yeah, it will do the job, I suppose. So yeah, let's move on to the Deathscythe himself. So, looking at the Deathscythe, or the Deathscythe Hell Custom, as his full name is, I have done a bit of customizing to it to make it look not quite as terrible as it was out the package. The feet, I know they're not the right colour, but then this kit really isn't the right colour at all. The blacks, I think, are meant to be a really dark navy blue. Don't quote me on that though, not 100%. But yeah, the feet were completely moulded in black, so it was either take a white Sharpie paint pen to them and give it a bit of colour contrast down there, or have the entire thing in black, which I wasn't a fan of. So yeah, lesser of two evils. I also done a tiny bit of panel lining on what little white there is. The white on the arms are stickers, which fit reasonably well, but they are already starting to come up. So yeah, only other stickers that's on him are on his chest, which they were terrible as well. Like, just putting it out there, there's 4 stickers in total, and I think you're meant to put it on the top and the bottom and sort of sandwich them together. I couldn't get that to work, so I just stuck the sticker in there and hoped for the best. So yeah, you get 2 stickers on his hip flaps, and a sticker for his eyes, which I had to cut the nose out because for whatever reason the sticker was way too big and it was going halfway down his face. So yeah, apart from that, everything else is either moulded plastic or I have painted it slightly. That gold on his fin is gold Sharpie. The red on his chin is red Sharpie. And there's a little bit of panel lining on the face as well. So yeah, if you look at the back of it, it's, well, it looks black there, but it is translucent green underneath, I can assure you. So yeah, honestly, this figure was such a pain in the backside to put together. I cannot tell you. Like, the parts fit that poorly together that I had to put all the force into my hand just so that the thing would snap, and the legs still didn't snap together properly. I mean, you can see the seam line right there. That won't go together. I've tried. Like, if I had a vise, I would try putting it in there, and it probably still wouldn't go. So yeah. But apart from that, most of the other thing I done was cut off excess flashing, which that was a chore in and of itself, because nearly every single part on this kit had some excess flashing on it. In fact, let me show you the spare polycap pieces that were left behind, just to show you how bad it was. There we go. That sort of halo that you can see around the parts that's left, that is excess flashing. You can see it down the bottom there as well. It wasn't very well moulded at all. Wouldn't recommend it, especially for a kid. So yeah, in terms of articulation, very basic. At least it all works, but it is very basic. It's just a ball joint at his head. Doesn't really go up and down any, but it does swivel. That's about it. Arms go up that far before they're stopped by the shoulders. They can go all the way around, but the wings do get in the way. Shoulders do move. a little bit. You have an elbow swivel, which is strange, even though it's a single joint at the elbow as well. So you get just past 90, and that's your whack. No chest articulation. You get a little bit of swivel at the waist. You can pop it a bit for some extra swivel. But yeah, that's not really getting you anywhere. The hip flaps can go up that far. That is literally their whack. The side flaps get a bit more movement to them. But yeah, legs go out that far. They can't really do the splits because there's just a simple ball peg up there. You get some slight swivel, but I would guess that's purely due to bad fitting. I don't know if that's an actual joint there. The legs can get... They can admittedly get some good range out of them. They are double jointed at the top and the bottom. Just fit together like that sort of thing. Pop that back together. And the feet are on a ball peg. So yeah, doesn't really get much range. That's about as far as you're getting. And backwards and forwards. So yeah, the wings did move. These bits do flap a little bit, but this backpack was such a pain in the backside to put on. I just glued it in place. Like, I hope I never have to move that, but it's never moving. You can also pop these off and put the wings into different configurations, like in his shield mode, the sort of flight mode and such. But I like them like this, so this is how they're going to stay. So yeah, before we go, let's just pop that hand off and pop this one on. This is the first time putting that on. This is going to be a nightmare. Oh, there we go. Why do I do things on camera? So yeah, all in all, like, it's... I know I'm being really hard on it, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's standing up on its own. It's not even really like facing forwards, but it does stand on its own. At the back, in the background display, it might be okay, but yeah, like I said at the start of the review, please don't buy this unless you really want the Deathscythe Hell Custom. Just buy something else. Don't waste your money, even though this is only £4, but it's £4 I would rather spend on a hot chocolate. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think down in the description, and until next time, I'll see y'all later.